I'll ask the clerk to take roll.
Chairman Respicio,
Present.
Senator Tom Atta, Speaker Wampat, Vice Speaker Cruz, Senator Muñoz Barnes, Senator Uggan, Senator Rodriguez, Senator San Nicolas, Senator Underwood,
Here.
Senator Tony Atta,
Good afternoon, President.
Senator Torres. Mr. Chair, there is a quorum.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to review and accept the COR meeting minutes from April 24, 2015, and the minutes have been attached and they've been available for your review. Okay, it's moved and second. There are no objections, so ordered. Mr. Vice Speaker? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Also, a motion that we excuse any COR member that's not present this time. It's been moved and second. There are no objections, so ordered. Thank you, Mr. Vice Speaker. Under item 4, document tracking, this is a provision in the agenda which gives us an opportunity to reflect on those documents that are particularly time sensitive that have been referred to the different committees of oversight, and so that document tracking has also been attached for your review. Under item 5, ratification of referrals, I'll entertain a motion that we ratify the referrals that I made for bill numbers 84-33 through 101-33. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. There are no objections, so ordered, as well as the appointments which are attached. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. There are no objections, so ordered, as well as resolutions. The referrals of those resolutions, which primarily have been to the sponsor. This has been moved by the Vice Speaker, seconded by the Speaker, and there are no objections, so ordered. For the session agenda, I'll go around the table and get your motions for placements of bills, resolutions, or appointments on the agenda. Speaker Wampat? Go ahead, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any for this session, but I just ask if I could make this motion that we do a first, second, and a third tier only because of the number of days that we're going to be in session next week.
Okay, so the Speaker's making a procedural motion that when you move to place your items on the agenda, that you indicate first, second, third, or fourth, whatever the case may be, and that when we provide the agenda, it'll be in numerical order, beginning with the first grouping, then numerical order again with the second grouping, then numerical order again for the third grouping. So we have an opportunity to make sure every member at least has one or two bills addressed, because we are only going to be in session for 3 days. So thank you, Madam Speaker. On that motion, is there a second? Okay. So there's a second. Are there any objections? No objections, so ordered. But it's possible we'll get through the entire agenda as we always have. Okay. So, Mr. Vice Speaker, you're next.
I want to thank Chairman Nicholas for reporting out 31, so I'll have 31 as my first choice.
Okay.
79 on the second, 61 and 65 on the third.
So, Bill 31 is relative to the inspection of tax returns and other information required to be filed for or furnished by the taxpayer. Okay. On that motion, there's no objections to ordered. So, 79. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And 79 on that motion, no objections to ordered. And then the third.
61 and 65 are both COFA related.
Okay.
Compact with the association, one to for education and the other one with GPD.
Okay, so on that motion for 61 and 65, and whatever versions report out by the respective committees, there are no objections to order. Okay, so Clerk, you got that right, that order. Okay. Thank you. Senator Atta? Oh, can you give him the mic? Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that Bill 92-33 be placed on the agenda. And basically, this has to do with the veteran cemetery and to rectify a boundary issue that is there. And then on top of that is to appropriate $30,000 to allow Department of Land Management to outsource the survey work that would be required. And this funds would be appropriated from the excess funds, excess revenues collected in the survey revolving fund, any excess collections for FY 2015, otherwise from the collections in FY 2016.
And for the record, you did amend the bill to provide for the appropriation, and it was in consultation with the appropriations chair.
That's correct.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, notwithstanding the motion made by the Speaker, can I ask that all three of those actually be placed on first priority in light of the fact that we are meeting on Memorial Day week?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. There is actually a second associated, it's not a bill, it's a resolution, and that's resolution, which one's that? 80, yeah, resolution 83. Okay. Yeah, Resolution 83, which is to request Congresswoman Medallo to introduce a resolution to the Congress to transfer federal property that is adjacent, that is to the northwest of the Veteran Cemetery, to transfer that tract of land to the government of Guam. And will be used for the purpose of expansion of the Veteran Cemetery, and the parts that are not developable will be utilized as part of the conservation area for the Mosso Reservoir. Right now, the Veteran Cemetery has a capacity that will probably take it up to about 25. And we certainly want to avoid a situation where in the future we have to operate two separate veteran cemeteries. So we need to lean forward now and start trying to get adjacent property for future expansion.
Okay. So on bills, bill number 92 and resolution 83, both dealing with veterans issues, and on the Vice Speaker's motion that carried, did it be the top two bills on the agenda? On the motion, there's no objections to order. Then your third one.
There's actually a third one, and this is actually a bill that was introduced by Senator Tina Barnes, and it has to do with the foster care home. And this should be a relatively easy bill, because in the previous session, the legislature actually had approved this. Everything, the substance of this in the form of a resolution in the previous session. So the legislature has already made its position known. We are now basically putting it in and passing it as a law, and upon the advice of council, that's really how we should have done this transfer of land.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Bill 90-33. And all the committee reports are reported on.
Okay, and this will go in the second grouping, right?
Well, this is not my bill, but the author of this bill is not there, and I thought we really should try and get to this. One, it's easy because we've already discussed it.
Okay.
And secondly, I think, is it tomorrow or Tuesday morning, they're having a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking on this. So.
Okay. So on the first grouping also. So on the motion to put bill number 90-33 as part of the first batch, there being no objections to order.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go back to the Vice Speaker to make motions for Senator Barnes's bills.
I received a note from Senator Barnes' office, and unfortunately, I don't know which order she wants it in, so I'll just do it numerically. 15 in the first priority, 55 in the second priority, and 82 and 83 in the third.
Okay. Did you get the titles?
Housing appropriation. Well, remember, no, 15.
Well, 15 is the, to appropriate 500,000 from the, well, Bill 15 is,
How would they sign that?
This is the second.
One syllable, please.
okay. Bill 15 is relative to eliminating the requirement that the corporation appropriate a fixed amount of 500,000 from its operating revenue. And this was publicly heard, and so on that motion for Bill 15, there are no objections ordered. And Bill 55, yes, relative to the transfer, the lease for the Abai, the Palau Abai. So on that motion, hearing no objections, so ordered. And then Bill 82 and 83, they're kind of companion legislation, seeks to appropriate the surpluses in the TAF to various places. So 82 and 83, again, hearing no objections, so ordered.
Well, not the hot bond. Not the hot bond.
No,
It's, the hotel occupancy tax is HOT.
That goes to the
but
TAF.
We know it as TAF. The same way that BPT is business privilege, but we know it as GRT. It's just, and it's not going to be taken from the bond money itself. It's from the hotel occupancy tax, which is the TAF.
I understand, but
They're not taking any money from the hot bond.
well, because there's no money available to be
That's
taken
right.
from the hot bond. As I understand it, some of the projects are already in deficit,
Yes.
paper deficit.
Well, on that,
When you get to 66, you can say anything.
yeah, happy belated birthday. But the
Your excuse.
but the TAF is not in a paper deficit. So the on the motion for the placement of these bills, again, hearing no objections, so ordered. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Senator Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill 9, which is an act to adopt the rules and regulations relative to responsible alcohol server seller training program.
Okay.
That's the first bill. And also Bill 48-33, which is this is relative to providing the resources to establish a new senior center at the Ilocano Community Center in Machachi,
Okay.
Querétaro.
Okay, and for the record, the legal counsel has issued a memo regarding Bill 48, recommending a substitute version, to which you've indicated
Yes.
your committee will review.
Yeah,
And then if-
we'll review, and if we see that that those need to be done, then we'll do it on the floor.
Okay, so on the motion to place Bill 9 and Bill 48 on the agenda with Group 1 and then Group 2 respectively, there are no objections, so ordered.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also, Mr. Chairman, I have two appointments, two confirmations,
Okay.
which is, first one is Dr. Ryan Claros to serve in the Guam Board of Allied Health Examiners as a physical therapist representative.
Okay.
And then Will Castro to serve as director of BSP.
Okay, on the motion to place those nominees on the agenda, here, and the committee reports will be ready, right? Any discussion? No discussion. There are no objections, so ordered. Okay, thank you. Wow, what you guys have for lunch? Keep this mood up. Senator Uggan.
I'm good for this session. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Mike. Okay, Senator Underwood.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to first of all uh, 7033
Okay.
on the agenda.
Okay, on Senator Underwood's request for the placement of Bill 70-33 in whatever version the Vice Speaker Committee reports out, they're hearing no objections, so ordered. Okay.
And I also have an appointment to the commission, the Guam Commission for Educators Certification, and that's appointment of Dr. Lisa Cooper, nurse. She's going to be the school principal administrator member.
Okay, on her motion for the placement of Dr. Cooper Nurse, there are no objections, so ordered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Just make sure we recognize Senator Tom so he can make a motion for my bills. Okay, Senator Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As always, thank you to the committee for always being cohesive and working together and placing bills onto the session agenda. The first bill I'd like to place is on behalf of Senator Brant McCready, is bill number 21-33, and that's the Juvenile Justice Reform Act of 2015. And a committee report has been filed on that. The next one is on behalf of Senator Jim Espaldon, bill 44-33, and that is the individual credit history in the employment process. And then the last, another one from Senator Espaldon is 7733, and that is the prison industries revolving fund. And also all committee reports have been filed.
Okay, thank you.
44 to 77.
No, actually, I think they're all first tiers because they're all the individual senators.
No, Jimmy got 44 and 77.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jimmy, okay. Okay, so on the motion to place Bill 21 and 44 in the first tier, and then because the sponsor of Bill 44 is the same for Bill 77, that would be on the second tier.
Yes.
There being no objections to order.
Thank you.
Okay, Senator Torres.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move that we place Bill number 64-33, sponsored by Senators Morrison, Senators Tony Atta, and Senator Tina Munya Barnes. 6433 is an act to add Article 3 to Chapter 40 of 5 GCA relative to providing public broadband internet services in village community centers. I move that it be placed on the session agenda.
Okay, and the oversight chair has indicated that he will have a committee report filed following a very successful roundtable discussion he had with the stakeholders. So on the motion to place Bill 64, hearing no objections, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman, I also move that we place Bill number 73-33, sponsored by Senator Morrison, Frank B. Uggan, Frank Bloss Jr. This is relative to strengthening public safety efforts through the integration of surveillance cameras with the Guam Emergency Reporting System. And I move that this be placed on the session agenda.
On the second tier, right?
On the
'Cause
second
it's
tier,
same sponsor.
yes.
Okay, on the motion, there being no objections, hearing no objections, so ordered.
And lastly, Mr. Chairman, I move that we place Bill number 81-33, which is sponsored by myself, Vice Speaker Cruz, and also Senator Respicio, yourself. This bill is relative to mandating the use of an administrative law judge with the Civil Service Commission. It also clarifies certain functions of the administrative law judge, and it establishes time standards and case management practices for the Civil Service Commission. I move that it be placed on the session agenda under priority.
Priority one.
Priority one.
Yeah, on the motion, there, hearing no objections, motion carries. How about your driver's license bill that's been reported out? You
Yeah.
tried to get it on the last session.
Okay.
I'm looking for that.
We can. I mean, if time permits, we can put it on the third priority. That's Bill 25-33.
Yeah.
If time permits,
It's relative to enabling registration of voters incident to motor vehicle registration.
right, and that's
Okay.
Bill 25-33. So if time permits, I do move that we place that on the agenda under the third priority.
Okay. On the motion to place that in the third tier, hearing no objections, so ordered. Okay. And the tiers don't indicate any priority or any significance of seriousness of the issue. It's just how it falls, right? Okay. Senator Tom for my bills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move that we place Bill 50-33, which is a bill relative to the annuity payments of certified, registered, or licensed healthcare professionals or ancillary service personnel employed by the judiciary of Guam.
Okay. And we could do it on the second tier because the other bill, the Board of Education, is making sure so Bill 50.
Okay.
Okay. For the second tier, hearing no objections, so ordered.
Okay. And the other bill is Bill 69-33, and it is an act relative to the Guam Public School System's use of Easter and
No objection.
Christmas breaks.
No, I'm asking the Vice Speaker. if he has
Christmas
an
breaks
objection.
as makeup days in the school calendar.
Okay. On the motion to place that bill on the agenda. And I think for the most part, these bills have been vetted through the committees, and so see how it goes. Any open discussion other than how we only have 3 days for all these bills, and we vote on Friday. And you can do it this time because you don't have any bills on the agenda. Okay. Yes, Mr. No, well, we could have a separate announcement. Okay, no other open discussions. Have a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. There being no objections. On a motion to adjourn is...
The Memorial Day service ceremony at the Veteran Cemetery at 10 o'clock.
Monday.
So for those
Yeah.
who RSVP,
Monday.
please, I would urge you to, show up. Otherwise, we get all these empty chairs. But that's Monday at 10 a.m. at the Veteran Cemetery.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there being no further discussion and no objections to adjourn, we're adjourned. It's been moved or we're adjourned.